Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing things over and over again and expecting different results. But what if I told you most people don't just repeat the same thing, they just do nothing at all? They dream of starting a podcast, starting a business, a fitness journey, but years go by and they're still stuck in the thinking stage. Sounds familiar? Listen, you're not stuck. You just haven't done the one thing that will change your life. And in this episode, I'm giving you a blueprint, how to break free from stagnation today. So let's dive in. Part 1, the truth about feeling stuck. Let's get real. You're actually not stuck. You're just caught up in the cycle of waiting for the right time, waiting to feel ready, waiting for perfect conditions. But let me tell you, clarity doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. If you're feeling lost, uncertain, or unfulfilled, it's not because life is against you. It's because you haven't taken that leap that will show you the way. Now let's break down the 3 types of stuck and how to get out of each one, and probably to understand which one are you. Part 2, the 3 types of stuck and how to fix them. 1, the stuck in overthinking, or let's call it the endless researcher. The symptoms here is that you plan, you analyze, you benchmark, you compare, but you never start. Listen, I was the king of this. I got stuck here on this stuck identity for like the longest time. I wanted to start my podcast 3 years before I actually started. 3 years. I told myself, I needed the perfect mic. I need the right video setup. I need to have an ideal strategy or my niche. But guess what? None of these actually mattered until I recorded episode 1 back in 2024. The real reason I delayed, it's imposter syndrome. I kept watching other podcasters over and over and over thinking, I'm not as good as them. Or who would ever listen to me? Or who would even watch these solo podcasts? But the moment I recorded my first interview episode, flawed as it was, everything changed. So how do we fix this? 1, stop researching and start doing. If you've been overthinking something for months, stop the analysis, cut it short, and do the test run. 2nd, remember that imperfect action will always be better than the perfect plan because no one gets it right the first time. And number 3 is to set a deadline. In this case, give yourself 48 hours to take the first real step. Record, launch, post, apply. Whatever it is, just do it. Overthinking is just fear in disguise. And the cure? Taking action, no matter how messy it looks. Stuck type number 2, stuck in fear, or the ego trap. You're afraid of looking stupid, failing, or being judged. I get it. It's your ego that simply tells you, if you can't be great immediately, why even bother? This was when I first tried CrossFit, I remember. I walked into the gym, saw people lifting insane weights, doing muscle-ups, and looking like they're athletes belonging to the CrossFit Games. I almost walked out, even if it's just like a first free trial. I told myself, I don't belong here. I'm not an athlete, and I will just look weak and stupid. And then I realized something powerful. Nobody in that gym cared. They were too focused in their own journey. And once I checked my ego at the door and embraced the beginner stage, I actually started improving. So the fix here is, first, check your ego. Everyone starts somewhere and nobody is watching as much as you think. 2nd is to reframe failure. It is part of the process and it's not the end of it. 3rd, scale at your level. In CrossFit, you scale workouts based on your ability. In life, you do the same. Take small steps before taking big ones. Remember that fear fades when you stop worrying about how you look and start focusing on how you truly grow. Third type of stuck is stuck in comfort. Let's call this the 9-to-5 identity trap. Its symptoms, you'd feel that, oh, life is fine, but something feels missing. You're not unhappy, but you know that you're meant for more. It's just like the meh stage. Personally, for me, for years, I thought that my job or my professional career defined me. I believed that my 9-to-5 job was the only thing that mattered in my professional identity. But something clicked when I started thinking about side hustles, coaching, and mentoring that eventually led to applying and launching for an LCC and launching our own business, to exploring content creation while still doing my 9-to-5 job. And what I've profoundly realized is that I am not just my job. Your career is one part of you, but your skills, your experiences, and your passions can be leveraged in so many different ways. So how do we fix this? First, expand your identity. You are more than your job title, so do explore passions outside of work. Second is to start a side hustle. You don't need to quit your job. You just need to test the waters. And third is to reclaim your time. Remember that the hours before and after your work is yours. So build something meaningful on those time blocks. Remember that you don't need permission to build a life beyond your job. You just need courage to start. Part 3, the action over everything mindset shift. Wondering what Steve Jobs, Serena Williams, or Mr. Beast have in common? They didn't wait to be ready. They just started, failed, continued, adjusted, and kept going. Steve Jobs didn't have the perfect vision for Apple. He launched, iterated, innovated, and adjusted along the way. Serena Williams didn't wake up as a champion. She trained, lost, retrained, and came back stronger. And Mr. Beast wasn't always the YouTube king. His early videos were actually bad. He just kept on improving. That made him the Mr. Beast that he already is today. So what's the lesson here? Well, success isn't just about talent. It's about taking action, learning, and repeating the cycle. Part 4, your next steps to get unstuck. So let's put this together for you. Step 1, identify which kind of stuck you are. Are you the overthinker, the fearful, or the too comfortable? Step 2 is to take one tiny action today. If you've been overthinking, cut the research and just start today. Or if you've been afraid, then do it scared. Or if you've been comfortable, try something new. And step number 3 is to commit to daily micro wins. Focus on 1% improvement daily. Remember that tiny progress compounds into big macro success. So the final takeaway here, you're not stuck. You're just one decision away from that major breakthrough. And embrace the idea of no more waiting, no more perfect timing, start today. Drop in the comments, what's that one thing that you keep on delaying? And let's just simply hold hands and be accountable for each other. And if this hits home for you, give it a like, share it with your friends, and do subscribe. See you again next time.